Oh yeah, your boy got fresh, about to turn up. Swaggy. About to bust out this dope, but first, I gotta go downstairs and get me some of that lavish Mayne purple drink. Oh yeah, turn up. Yeah, let me grab my keys and then I'm about to turn up. What it do, neighborhood? There you go.
Yeah, wait a minute, we out of sauce.
Yeah.
Hey, this ain't no sauce.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Oh, well, you dusty bastard. Our sauce is made with the best ingredients this side of the Mississippi. If you're gonna give me something, it's gotta be the sauce.
This made in New York City?
If you ain't got the sauce,
motherfucker, that's your loss.
here's the sauce made with the best you ever seen in your life. If you ain't got the sauce, then motherfucker, that's your loss.
Move! Get out of the way! Gotta get down here and tell these boys about the main authority. They act like they don't know about nothing. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, gotta see the boys out. Gotta see Lavish. Gotta see him on the main authority. What you don't know about the main authority, watch out. Move out the way. Yeah, you boys right here. Y'all don't know about the main authority whip skills. Skirt, watch out. You know what? When I know about the main authority, see your car? Yo car. Yo car. No, why we pull up right here? You don't know about the main authority? They got all this great content right up in here. You're right, pay attention. What's what I'm saying, boy? You know what I'm saying? Try to tell you. Gotta put you on game. Gotta put you all up with that sauce. And what the hell? Yo, look at that. All you people right here about to learn today about the main authority. They all up in here. You know what I'm saying? The boys, they're quite the humanitarians. I revere myself, but still, at the same time, what you gonna do? You ain't know what it is, what it was, what it does. You gotta get the purple drink, you gotta get the sauce, you gotta get your life together with the commercials. You know what I'm saying, boy? Check out the content. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Subscribe.
Nothing unites family like a good bottle of sauce to go with your great summer barbecue.
Who made the potato salad?
Al's sauce has been known to bring people of all colors and creeds together in the spirit of barbecue.
Oh, man, that's too much sauce. Never. Shut up, motherfucker.
Bring it over for a good time, whether you're black, white, it doesn't matter.
Hey, that chicken ain't done, man.
Done to me.
If you ain't got the sauce, then that's your
Oh,
loss.
man. Domino, motherfucker.
March! Left, 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 left. What's this loose?
Main Patrol! Don't you know
That's the sound of the Maynes working on the chain. JS.
Don't you know
That's the sound of the change working from the main game.
Patrol.
Said,
Turn up. Get crunk.
that's the sound of the Maynes working on the chain. JS. That's the sound of the change working from the main game.
Did you hear me say? No. Turn up. Get crunk.
That's the sound of the Maynes working on the chain. JS. That's the sound of the change working from the main game.
Did you hear me say?
Keep it right there, Jim.
Turn up.
Sweet. Six coming.
Get off my book, boy.
Working so hard, see my woman,
Where
who
the
I
sauce?
love so deeply. Wow, got to stay right here.
Main
Give me
gang.
Oh, slow. Oh, don't you know that's the sound.
Greetings, humans. Once again, it is I, Optimal Pride. As before, we are here to tell you that we support the main authority. As that still stands, we've celebrated with our friends. Past spliffs between others. We are looked up to by our peers, and even I give my right arm for the Mayne Authority. Flying high, never low. Always hitting you with the sauce and the flow. Look out, YouTube. We are here. We are the Authority.
Remember, Maynes, go get that bag. Autobots, let's roll up.
Oh, it feels good to get out of here. Time to change in this bitch. Oh, where's my rag? Oh, yeah.
What in the hobgoblin dasher is? Let's get the hell up out of here.
Oh, damn it. Pull my tool out in case somebody hates me and try to jack me. The f y'all looking at? Respect my damn gangsta.
Yeah, whatever, man. You tripping.
Oh, this damn Gucci rag's too hot.
Welcome back. We out here getting jiggy with it.
Back to the projects. Shut up and get over here. Let me sprinkle this Reggie dust on you. Help you grow. What the f is he want?
You're a Decepticon. The Maynes have a new video out, and it's got 100 subs.
Oh, shut the f up, motherfucker. I asked you to downvote the video. Don't just tell me that they've got a new video out.
My bad.
Hey, yo, Soundman reporting, cuz. This bird from Compton got news for you, Lord Decepticon.
What the hell do you got to tell me today?
Hey, yo, the facts is just like this here, player. They're on their way to getting 1,000 subs, cuz. What we gonna do?
Ain't this a bitch? How many times am I gonna tell you? We've got to stop their viewers. How many more subs are you gonna let these Maynes get? Maynes, we're coming for you.
The Force will be with you, always.
Hey man, y'all sure y'all don't want to like burn one first, man?
Why did you say that name?
You hear about the cable?
What is thy bidding, my master?
Nice guy.
Forever, forever, ever.
Yo, what it do?
What up, peoples?
You know what it is, damn it. It's the boy Lavis B. It's your boy Freddie Roy, and we are the Mayne Authority. We are in the building. It's funny though, because we should have been in the building like 45 minutes ago.
Ain't lying.
We trying to get in here early, and Fates is like, nah, player.
Right.
I swear, man.
Playing with the machinery when we gone.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I don't know who in here. I'm gonna have to holler at Jermaine, bro. Cause like, I swear he be in my chair. My chair don't feel right, man. I feel like my stuff ain't in the right positioning. My settings on my computer's all messed up, man. I got like porn pop-ups all over the place when I come in here. We got problems. We got to discuss what's going on. But
glad that was on your end.
yes, I'm telling you. But what we are definitely gonna have to talk about is that Boba, that book, the good book of Boba Fett.
Yes,
we
sir.
have definitely got to get into some of that, react to that.
Man. You already know it, man.
And we gonna get into that Matrix, man. we gonna get into that Matrix because I feel like we just need to go on and just like air it out, man. We got to talk with y'all about that because, I have thoughts. So I say, man, before we get into it, let me ask you, man, how you been, man? Happy New Year, first and foremost. Let me say it to your own screen since this is our first episode of 2022.
Oh, we made it, man.
We totally we limped into this mother. Like, I know I sure limped up into this B. Like, man. Yes.
Make it here, make it anywhere, man. But
indeed.
I'm doing all right. I am doing good, man. Just coming into this new year and waiting for them packages to show up. You know how I go.
Word. Yeah, man. You waiting on some very look. Santa was a little late this year, but Santa, like the good Lord, may not come when you want him.
Right.
But he always right on time.
Always right on time.
He was right on time this morning, but somebody ain't here tonight. He gave you that little light. He wasn't the police knock, huh?
No.
He didn't knock like the popo, huh?
No.
That's because Santa was trying to wrap his day up early. He like, I'm gonna just go and tap on the door, and if he don't answer, then I'll just come back.
The hell is?
Yeah,
I can't even hear that.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much.
How you doing, man? How you been?
Oh man, this week, man, it was a little rocky, up and down, man. Lost an uncle, so rest in peace, Uncle Euro. You know, we love you, man. You up there resting now, but other than that, it's been a cool week, man. Been a cool week. Been a week of reflection for me. You know, not just because of the family situation, but you know, there was a lot of build up, man. There was a lot of hype on my end because if you know anything about me, you know.
Yeah.
I am, first and foremost,
the Matrix Authority.
I am the Matrix Authority. But even more so than that, I'm a Star Wars fan.
For sure.
And like to consider myself somewhat of an authority on Star Wars, you know. Shout out, by the way, to anybody that's been kicking it with me in the Discord while we doing these Star Wars watch parties, man. Star Wars Wednesdays is where it's at. 9 p.m. Eastern time every Wednesday. We gonna be in there watching some Star Wars, talking some Star Wars, because that was one of them things that I've reflected on and was like, you know what? 2021, I wasn't really on my Star Wars shit like I should be.
Right.
We didn't really have much Star Wars to talk about.
That's true. That is true.
But
give me till March.
There you go.
As soon as we get that Batman.
Oh yeah. We might have to dedicate a whole show to the Batman.
The Bat.
See, look, I called him the Bat. I said the Batman and not Bat Cullen. I'm gonna leave Bat Cullen in 2021. We gonna leave it in 2021.
Good deal.
If it comes back, it'll be his fault.
Right.
But we gonna wait.
The trailers look hot.
Yeah, I will give you that. The trailers do look hot. The trailers definitely look like this is a movie worth going to check out. And it looks like it's got some potential, man. Like I've been able to get past my prejudice. I still don't feel like he feels like Bruce, but the trailers have encouraged me to give him a shot. So a shot is what I'm gonna give him.
It's 80% Batman, 20% Bruce.
There we go. Now if it's whack, then I'm gonna come on here shooting shots all over the place. No aim like a stormtrooper. I'm just if you get hit, you get hit.
I'm gonna say this. I don't think there's any way it's gonna top Spider-Man.
Okay? Oh no, no. Can we look?
Let's not try to go there. We're talking about the Batman being on a Spider-Man level one.
No.
Well, it was a swell. It built up to that point. There's no way.
That's not even fair, bro. Like let's just go there for a minute. Like, can we just say that when it comes to comparing superhero movies going forward, No Way Home is up there with Endgame and Infinity War. Like, we can't count them because we already know, like, you talking like upper echelon, like the rarest of the rare with that.
Right.
It's gonna take a huge effort to even come close to topping that. Right. So, you know, No Way Home is like, nah, man, that's in a class by itself. I wouldn't, it wouldn't even be fair for me to come over here and try to talk to you about any DC movie and put it and hold it up against No Way Home, bro. That's just not fair.
No,
just not fair.
Not at all. Like Daniel Fisher said, no way, homie.
No way, homie. No, man.
I think it's still maybe one of the number one movies. Of this
Okay.
year. I will say that for sure.
Yeah,
not the critic number one, because every movie that comes out to some is a number one movie we hear from the critics. I ain't talking about that kind of number one. I'm talking about like in the books, we can all agree it's a number one movie.
Facts.
Type number one.
If that's what it is, then that's what it's gonna be. But we're gonna have to wait and see on that. But yes, No Way Home, hands down. Look, even the critics had to be like, you know what? Okay. I mean, when you turn Andrew Garfield when Andrew Garfield goes from third best to first best by far Spider-Man, like that movie did something.
Right.
That movie did something. Like, it's so many people out right now, like, campaigning to get Andrew Garfield back. Tom Holland probably sitting there like, man, they shouldn't have put them mother in my movie, man.
Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen.
Right. Right. He like, hey, you don't want to play it past 30, bro? Well, we got you.
Right. We got
like,
you.
Man, don't even worry about it. Andrew
Right,
Garfield was playing the long game. He said it's chess, not checkers.
Right. I'm gonna get a third movie and a spinoff.
Exactly. Look, that's how good that movie was. We ain't even got Spider-Man on the docket, and we still had to find a way to drop some Spider-Man information to talk about it. Yeah, exactly. Hey, man, they gonna forever be. I don't care what we do, what kind of renovations we make. That's like the comic book holy trinity in my eyes right now.
Right now, yeah.
Right now is them three dudes. Like it's they world. We just living in it.
Yes, sir.
That's the way I feel about that. But speaking of living in a world, man, look, I got to set this up, right? Please bear with me, because it's 2021 was a milestone year for me, because 2021 is 20 years removed from my high school graduation. Now, it's not that the high school graduation was the sentinel moment, but it's that particular time in life where we were in the middle of what I thought was like sci-fi greatness, because we were right in the thick of the prequel trilogy. We had the Matrix popping off, and it was just like everywhere you went, it was sci-fi this, sci-fi that. Lord of the Rings was out. Everything was like fantasy and stuff was popping off. I think Harry Potter was getting ready to jump off, but it was like that moment in time. And I mentioned it, but the cherry on that Sunday was a movie called The Matrix. Now, The Matrix came out in 99, but by the time we got to 2K1, we were all in full-blown red pill mode. Like, we was all jacked in and we wanted more, which we got in the two sequels, Reloaded and Revolutions. Now, you can debate on how good you thought those were, whether or not you liked them, but the one thing that they did was expanded what we already knew the Matrix to be.
Right.
So then, life goes on. We don't hear much about the Matrix, and then all of a sudden, a couple years ago, there's grumbling that they might be doing a sequel. Naturally, I get hyped.
Right.
I get hyped. I'm like, 20 years. 20 years later, we getting ready to fight. We finna get the sequel. Stayed up.
Yes, you did.
2:00 in the morning. Downstairs in my room, surround sound cranked up. Hype as hell. Got into the movie 13 minutes in. I think I text you and was like, I'm 15 minutes into it, and this movie is fucking amazing.
Yep. I remember that. I was actually awake, getting ready to start it myself.
2 minutes later, I was like, what the hell am I watching?
Yes.
We just took a hard left.
Completely.
The minute Neo got on that train, they took me somewhere I was not expecting to go, and not in a good way.
No.
Not in a good way, man. Look, you can say what you want about this movie. You can say it sucked. You can say it was great. I'm going to just tell you my 2 cents. I didn't watch this smug 3 times, start to finish, fully and intently. I have checked out videos on Matrix Explained. Shout out to their channel doing things. I see them. I even was checking out like heavy spoilers of some of the people that don't normally talk Matrix, just to see if maybe the normies felt, how they felt about this. Because I wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy. I saw the reviews and I was like, okay, maybe I'm not crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you. If you have not seen The Matrix Revolutions.
Resurrections.
Revolutions. Well, better yet, if you haven't seen Matrix Revolutions, don't even bother watching it. Because you're going to get to the end of that and go, well, what happened to Neo? And you ain't going to want to know.
Not at all.
Because they shouldn't have resurrected a damn thing. Matrix should have been left in the early 2000s where we dropped it off. Yes. Because this was not it, G. Not even a little bit.
No, nobody asked for this.
No. This is a prime example of what happens when either A, your studio forces you to make a movie you don't want to make.
Yep.
Or when you just decide you want to make something that is so completely left and so utterly, so ridiculously meta that you want people to be conflicted and torn. This movie came straight out the school of Rian Johnson filmmaking.
And went straight into the trash for me. Sorry, sir. And I apologize that it drove you to go through all these different channels and to watch it 2 more times.
Yes.
To question your own sanity. I apologize, sir.
Well, I had to, because I had to make sure this movie was going to end up exactly where it ended up with me, which is at a flat ass 5.5.
He's still too generous. This is out of what? Out of 10?
Out of 10. It gets a 5.5.
No, man. This got 2.5 from me. It was so bad for me, people. It was so bad for me. I actually went to Rotten Tomatoes and submitted half a star for the score. I never in my whole life, went anywhere to rate a movie. Nevertheless, anywhere to rate a movie so low.
Mm-hmm.
If I could leave no stars and just an opinion, I would have. It's bad when the best thing to come out of this movie is possibly the video game.
Man, ain't no possibly. I will play that Matrix Awakens technical demo.
I'm gonna wait till Tuesday.
I wish I had played that for just 2 hours, because that's literally would have been more entertaining. It really, because here's the thing. I really want to break this down, because the reason I give this movie a 5.5 is because the premise that this movie created or set up was actually good. It had a very, very good start, because you come in, you see, the Matrix, and you see events playing out. You know it's going to be a little bit different. They throw the curveball at you. Spoiler alert, by the way, but trust me, we ain't spoiling shit, because this movie ain't dope. You don't want to waste time watching this 2.5 hour piece. I digress. We get Morpheus, aka Smith, and so automatically it's like, wait, what? Why is the dude that they showed in the trailer that's supposed to be Morpheus playing Agent Smith? So then you start fast forward and you go into it and you find out that Morpheus is actually a program. He ain't even the real, he ain't even reincarnated Morpheus. He is a program Morpheus. Who programmed him, you might ask? That would be one Mr. Anderson, aka Neo. Because what they decided was, we're going to reboot the Matrix, but we're going to have everyone who was involved in the last Matrix think that last set of events was a video game. That's right. A video game. I still wasn't even mad at that premise if they would have left it at that. But you know where it started fucking up for me, man?
Where's that?
When they started leaning into the video game stuff.
Yeah.
When you give me the whole diatribe and the exposition about what makes the Matrix great, and you being so self-referential, and it's supposed to be meta commentary on what the Matrix was back in the 90s and what people, it's okay, look, I get what you're trying to do, but can we please just not?
It'd have been all right if it was for maybe after that 15 minutes. If it was only for like the 10 minutes after that to kind of try to maybe set up being crazy, and then you get into the rest of the premise that you had set up.
Yes,
I'd have been fine with that. That'd have been all right. I wouldn't have raved about it, but I wouldn't have half started.
Exactly. And the thing that gets me more than that, it's like, you know, you don't want to do it. You want to do this whole thing and try to make it a whole meta thing and try to make the Matrix a video game or whatnot. Okay, cool. Because it either had to be that or a movie, right? They were like, based on the trailer, you knew that they were either going to say that the last Matrix was either a movie or it was a video game.
Right.
So we kind of knew that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I did not mind that plot point other than the fact that they leaned into it so damn hard.
Right.
Now, here's where you start getting into my huge problem with this movie. You find out that Neo's quote unquote agent in this movie happens to be none other than Agent Smith.
Yep.
The only problem with that is that ain't Hugo Weaving.
Nope.
Because Hugo Weaving wasn't available.
He said he wasn't coming back, man. He said that in the interview before they even decided to even think about making it.
So then there should be no Smith in this movie.
I agree.
Because here's where the movie starts to fall off. When you start getting these characters that are returning, but they are either not their actual self, or they are reduced to a ridiculous caricature of themselves, that's when I jumped off the movie, bro, because I feel like they shitted all over Niobe.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Morpheus got completely shitted on.
Yep.
I feel like Agent Smith got shitted on. But nobody, and I mean nobody, got it worse than the motherfucking Merovingian.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
What was
so glad
that shit?
That was what got me out of the movie. Because, you know me, my draw to it was the Merovingian.
Yes.
I was like, he's supposed to be, he might be the big villain.
Mm-hmm.
They left a little opening. He could come in, take over the Matrix. Could be the whole reason why everything is going down.
Right, right.
But no, man, they turned him into a dumpster goblin.
Bruh.
I can't even think of any more fixes that I would have put on that. It's bad enough. It's just bad enough. Just getting the image in my mind thinking about it.
It's so bad. Like it's like literally, I wonder if like the Wachowskis, if Lana or whatever, if they didn't did they have like a bare bones script and just say this is what we working with, and then when like Warner Brothers decided to push this movie into production, they just decided not to put any more effort into like fleshing this out, because that's what this movie feels like. It feels like an excellent premise that did not get thought through, so they like filled in the gaps with a bunch of like flashbacks. And I'm sorry,
you know what they must have done? They must have went out there and interviewed every 5-year-old that they could and asked them how could they make these scenes better in the Matrix.
Man,
did whatever they told them to do, because that's exactly what it felt like. Felt like it was written by maybe a classroom of 8-year-olds.
Facts. But not even, because 8-year-olds would at least give you action where your protagonist is doing a hell of a lot more than blocking bullets.
Yeah.
Like,
man.
Neo, the whole movie is just blocking bullets.
Hospice moves, man.
That's it. My man wasn't when he did throw a punch, you want to talk about telegraph, bruh. Dude. Like what? Look, I was watching that. I thought I was watching fight scenes in slow motion. That's when, look, sometimes you got to come off your pride and you just got to do some CGI work or bring in a stunt double or something, because man, you want to talk about like age and you want to talk about showing your age.
Yeah, that age was
boy. You could see Neo, you see Keanu Reeves was every bit of whatever he is right in this movie. Because my man was not here for it, bro. He was like, I am not trying to dislocate nothing. We ain't. But then they didn't even try to speed the action up in like post-production or anything.
In fact, they slowed him down.
Right.
It got to the point where it was most pivotal, and they slowed him all the way down and made him look like even worse, even older, and even more his age. It's like, yeah, you can't do anything about it, because
you could have went into I'd have seen other people that you could have went into the editing room. You could have sped them frames up. You could have made my man look like he had some kind of speed. Like,
no, it'd be the Flash. Matter of fact, it is the Flash TV show. This is what would happen if they made a TV show to a movie.
Man,
Resurrection.
Oh boy, it was like nothing in this movie mattered.
No,
there was nothing, because even the story and the whole premise of Trinity and Neo being like more powerful together in this Matrix and all of that. Then explain to me how it is that like she's able to awaken and fly and do all of that first.
Right.
Like what exactly is what is this?
Right.
No, and Felicity, he did not look like John Wick. He looked like the Sci-Fi Network version of John Wick.
He looked like John Wick when the wick is like all the way down at the bottom of the candle. You can barely
you can't even light it. Yeah, you light it to go right back out.
Right back out. That's exactly what he was in that movie. It's horrible.
It was so bad.
Neil Patrick Harris as a villain?
Bruh. Somebody keep Dookie Howser's ass away from the Matrix.
What?
Like, no. You didn't give me any Architect vibes. You didn't give me Smith vibes. You gave me Dookie Howser vibes, bruh.
Horribly
like
bad.
It was just like no, hell to the no.
To the no.
Like this was, and for a movie that was, I don't understand how a movie that was 2.5 hours long.
John Wick from Wish.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
That was a good one.
I'm trying to tell you, like from a movie that was 2.5 hours long. How does it feel like it was 4 hours at points, but then you get to the end and it feel like the movie was 90 minutes because they rushed the end on you, where you just like, wait, this is it? It's like everything in that movie was played, bro.
Yeah, and they tried to find a way to get around, because I think they knew after watching some of them fight scenes with Keanu, they was like, yeah, we might want to lay off for the whole rest of this movie, so let's just put them on a bike and have them travel around the city for a while and have people jump and fall from the skies.
Oh, man.
No real reason.
Right. And that's just like, they don't even do a good enough job of explaining that, because it's like, okay, so these people are actually bots now. So now you got bots intermingled with people in the Matrix. Okay. So you're trying to tell me that like there hasn't been any instances where people have figured that out? Like nothing out of the ordinary has happened?
According to him, they wanted to stay. So it didn't matter if they slipped up and knew that they were in a virtual world. They were compelled by their fear, and in different ways, the fear of their lives that they had in the Matrix.
Absolutely. And therein lies the fundamental problem with this movie. Right. It tries to be too smart.
Right.
If you had stuck to and focused on the whole explanation of this iteration of the Matrix and what changed, why it changed, and how it worked, this movie would have worked a lot better. I'll tell you another thing that would have made this movie work a lot better. Get rid of all of them damn flashbacks and just bring back the actual actors and actresses. Because I don't need you to flash me back to every scene in the older movies just to remind me, hey, by the way, just in case you forgot, this is supposed to mirror this scene. No, I don't need that. Like you do, it's basically like they said, hey, stupid people.
Right.
let us handhold you through this entire movie, because in 2021, you can't think for yourself. Like it felt like an insult, bro. Like the movie legitimately felt like an insult to all of the Matrix fans who spent the last 20 years theorizing, hypothesizing, brainstorming ways that they could bring Neo back.
Right.
I don't think there was one person that predicted Neo would come back in this way.
Not in this way entirely. I mean, we all were pegged it right about how they would have to have rebuilt him and kept his body.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
All that stuff panned out. And I feel like they went back and looked at all of our little ideas and stuff like that. And maybe they, like you said, they decided to get too meta with it. I don't feel like they took everybody's idea. Some of the stuff like, okay, how could we bring Neo back? Things like that. They was like, okay, we'll rebuild him. But whatever it is that they wrapped around the rest of that, I have absolutely no idea. It was like getting a huge box with a tiny little, and I can't even call it a gym.
No, there was no gym. There was no gym.
Like an empty Canada Dry bottle in there with a whole bunch of popcorn in this box, and you fishing around just to pull that out.
You know what? You're right though. Now that you make me think about it, it was like opening a big ass box and finding a gym, a slim gym, unwrapped and half bit. Like, what in the hell was I watching? Like, there were points in this movie, bro, where I'm sitting there and I'm like, dead ass, what am I watching right now? Like, the whole fight scene when and I hate to go back to it, but the scene where the Merovingian showed up, what the hell was he talking about? Was he talking about the Matrix, or was he talking about movies in general in real life, or both? Like, and why? Like, I get the idea of him wanting to go back to the old ways because he felt like this new modern Matrix, now he's obsolete because nobody gives a care about elegance and all of that. That's cool, but again, when you like cover all of that up with bogus fight scenes and terrible dialogue and Neo looking like he got arthritis, it don't hit. And then my dude just vanishes and you never see him again for the rest of the movie.
Nope. Served no purpose.
He had no purpose whatsoever.
At all. Just to create a very cringy scene. It seems entirely cringe.
Facts. And then like you would think it wouldn't get any worse. But then they up and did the same shit with Agent Smith. Because he just pops up at the end of the movie, convenient as hell, like, oh, I'm just gonna thwart the plan right now and then vanish.
Yep. I'm here, guys. You know.
I mean, who the hell is this Sting from WCW in '96? He just dropped down from the rafters, drop a couple dudes, and he gone. He like, that's it. I did my part. Like, there's no big, like, just like, bro, this shit was so infuriating. Like, I was so mad because I was like, why? I wanted to like this movie so bad. That's why I watched it the second time and the third time. It was like, please let me find something in this I like.
Nope. I watched it the one time just so I could be able to try to salvage what it was that drew me into the Matrix. And to pivot the conversation a little bit, there's always and still an opportunity for redemption.
Yes,
at least.
Absolutely.
Because it is a movie entitled The Matrix. It is something that is based on a fictional world. And at any given time, they could always change the players all over again. Maybe go out there and get Lawrence, go get Hugo. Maybe fix the wrongs that they did with this movie because now they have a Matrix under a new premise. We got a game that looks pretty damn dope.
Yes.
In the most respect, I really wasn't feeling the little car chase area with the shooting and
I mean the quick time stuff is kind of it's dated for 2022, bro. Like that's a whole nother conversation. But in 2022, can we please do away with quick time events in video games?
Please.
Like they're so or either upgrade that shit. Like I'm tired. I don't need you to have me guiding the aim with my analog sticks and then hitting a certain button. Like we've been doing that for like over a decade now. And that's not one of those gameplay mechanics that like endears itself to anybody. Like it's not, it's just not the same anymore.
It's not hot. And that, and you know, that worries me a little bit, but we're pivoting.
Yes, indeed. We are pivoting.
You know, there's always opportunity if they decide to make a sequel that the Matrix that they plug back into is a completely different one, maybe a little fixed, maybe a little modernized, maybe a little bit of the old. Maybe we get a proper Merovingian back because of the change that was made after the previous architect messed things up. There is opportunity to make this movie better. Do I think that they will though?
That's the question. Do they continue? Because I was looking this up and it's mixed. Like you hear like the Wachowski camp saying we had no plans to make any sequels. This was the story we told and that's it. But then Warner Brothers like, hey, you never know. Like we just gotta wait and see. And it's like, if what I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No,
You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think what this shows me is that when it comes down to it, Lana didn't want to make this movie.
Right.
I don't care what she said. She ain't want to make this movie because you can't tell me that this person, and I don't care what kind of transformations and life changes you've gone through, you don't lose the spirit of the essence of the movie you created. Now, the only other possibility is if it's that the other sibling was the real creative genius behind all of those intricate pieces, and because they weren't involved, that's why we missed out on that. Because that's very well a possibility. But
true.
To be a little bit glass half full, as the homie Mike Porter would be, I see your point about there being potential in a sequel if they wanted to go there. But the thing is, you would have to pivot hard with this movie. Like you'd have to have a whole tonal shift. Like you would almost have to go Rise of Skywalker with this movie, because you would basically have to go so hard against what came before it that it's almost like you taking shots at it and making fun of what Resurrections was.
Take a full Ryan Reynolds approach.
Yep, you would just literally have to like just shit all over that movie and like blow people, and it would have to be, if it were the same length, so let's say it's still a 2.5 hour movie, the first 45 minutes of that got to be you destroying what you created with Resurrections. And then you spend the last part of that building up what you want this franchise to be going forward. It doesn't have to be a love letter to fans from the original trilogy or anything like that, but it needs to be something definitive that's going in a direction that makes sense for the franchise that was created, and not something that is supposed to be some meta-ass commentary on filmmaking today, sequels, and the nostalgia of doing reboots and all of that, bro. Like, no.
Right.
Stop trying to outsmart the audience. It don't work. You played yourself.
Yeah, let it go. Let it go. Because going back to the point of, the media being mixed, WB saying maybe the Wachowski's like, nah. I think to that means I would lean more towards they didn't want to make the movie. She didn't want to make the movie. WB did. So WB's gonna probably try to find a way to go around, get rights, whatever, up off it. So when they keep making the Matrix movies, they don't have to pay them for it, and then they're gonna keep doing that. Because I feel like this movie had an agenda to it. It wasn't a Matrix movie.
No,
it wasn't a Matrix movie. It was a movie that had undertones that was trying to talk about something else.
Yes. Now I will say this, and I'm gonna say this because I want to put this out there, and this is my opinion, and I want to be crystal clear about this. And damn, when they break Mike Porter glass, when Sir Glass Half Full get his glass broke,
I'm trying to tell
you know that movie was bad, bro.
I'm trying.
But here's my thing. I see a lot of people that were saying like it was like an SJW agenda, and that's where this was going, and that's the way, it was a trans allegory and everything else, which we all know that the Matrix, from the Wachowskis themselves, that there were some elements on that with the original trilogy. So I get that. But in my opinion, that's not the messaging that made this movie trash. What made this movie trash was the elitist commentary about the state of society and our entertainment choices. Because that's the part that got me, that got under my skin more than anything else, was somebody trying to tell me about how I am as a person if I enjoy nostalgia, or if I like to see, certain things, or I like to lean on certain things that I grew up with in my childhood. And that's what this movie seemed like to me. It was like a slap in the face to anybody who gets into or who's into the reboot culture. Yep. And that's the thing. Reboots and nostalgia are not bad things. They just need to be executed correctly. No Way Home just proved that.
Yep.
It just proved it. You can have all the nostalgia you want in a movie as long as it serves the plot and it's done with taste. That's what No Way Home did. It followed the instructions. It created a recipe and it followed it to the T. Matrix was like, they showed up in the kitchen and said, fuck it, we freestyling tonight.
For real.
What we got in the, look, they pulled some Iron Chef shit. Like they was like, oh, we got a half a box of Cheerios, 3 sardines, some spoiled half and half, and a couple of crackers. Make me a cheeseburger
with a pinch of salt.
Right. That's literally what that felt like, man. It's like, oh my God.
Horrible. But you know what's not horrible? That Boba Fett, man.
Well, now hold on now. Hold on. Let's talk about it.
Yes.
Let's talk about Boba Fett. Let's leave the Matrix where it should have been left, which is in the rearview mirror.
Last year.
The Matrix happened in 2021. So we ain't gonna worry about Matrix in 2022.
Nope,
but let's get on this Boba, man, because I need to ask the people right off the rip. I need to know by star. Give me purple hearts. 5 being the top. Where's Boba Fett? Where's Boba Fett sitting with you right now? 1 to 5 with them purple hearts. I need to know.
Yes. We need to know. Yeah. We got some hot takes.
Oh yeah. I think I might have one. I might have one.
I'm gonna let you have the floor on that one first, because you're gonna have to
I might have a hot take.
Me up.
I see 10 out of 10. I see it. Yep. Let's see.
Yep.
Now, Jedi Mike, you said 10 out of 10, but 5 is the max. So I don't know what kind of math that is, but okay.
I guess he's covering for now and later.
Okay. And then let's see. We got 5, Jared with the 3.
Okay.
Mike Porter with the 4. All right. Mostly 5s, which I expect from our peoples, because, we Star Wars serious. We take our Star Wars very, very seriously. Yes, indeed. Well, I'm here to tell you people, 2 episodes into Boba Fett, I am sitting at, drum roll,
I can't do it.
a 2.
I'm actually shocked.
Hear me out. I loved these first 2 episodes. Loved them. I thought they did Boba very respectfully. I love seeing the flashbacks. I'm not complaining about the flashbacks.
I have
no problem with the flashbacks. I love the way that they're giving us an explanation of how my man survived and his interactions with the Tusken Raiders, the whole 9. The show so far has met expectation from what I would like to see in terms of Star Wars and the flavor of Star Wars. But you know what this show ain't done yet?
What's that, man?
Explain to me why the hell I should care. This is the problem that Star Wars runs into. Now, all this stuff about Boba is dope, but I ask you, does any of it yet hold any weight in terms of Star Wars where it is now or where it could go in the future? And I say to you, hell no, it doesn't. Because all we are getting is context behind a as yet inconsequential side character. That's literally what we've gotten so far. There is not, these 2 episodes of Boba Fett are not better than any single episode of The Mandalorian. Period. And the only reason I say that, the primary reason I say that, is because every episode of The Mandalorian built towards the overall plot. We found out in episode 1 of season 1, this is all about Baby Yoda. And every episode built towards whatever was supposed to be happening with Baby Yoda. These first 2 episodes of Boba have been all about, let us show you where Boba's been this whole time, and let us give you a little idea of what things are like right now. That's cool, but now what? There's nothing for me to look forward to yet. There's nothing, because again, after these 2 episodes, even with the whole Jabba and the whole Hutt thing and the crowd, they haven't spent nearly enough time establishing what this syndicate looks like, what this dark side or underworld of Star Wars looks like yet. We've got a few things here and there, but like this is more about retconning, in my opinion, Star Wars characters from the OG trilogy to fit whatever narrative Disney Lucasfilm has going forward. And no, I don't mean that from like an agenda standpoint. But what I'm saying is this. You take the Tusken Raiders, right? And for all we knew, Tusken Raiders was these wild ass sand peoples that would like jack your shit if they needed to, because they get it how they live.
Right.
Now we find out, oh no, Tusken Raiders they're people. They've got feelings. They're not all bad. Am I wrong? I mean, that's what I got from it.
You could become. They took him and made him sympathetic. It made you be able to become sympathetic.
You are now sympathetic to the Sand People. Okay, cool. So then you take Boba. Is it just me, or do you feel like this is not my Boba Fett? Like, where is the gangster in Boba? And I don't mean you didn't force my hand, so now I got. Where's the Boba I got in the Mandalorian post-credit scene that showed up, busted the cap, and was like, we ain't got time for all this damn talking, bro.
Right.
It's completely like, it's jarring how they are going out of their way to kind of establish Boba as like this fair and just like reformed bounty hunter. And we haven't seen any. So what? He caught religion while he was in the Sarlacc pit? Like we don't know anything other than he got a slice of humble pie when he got his ass kicked into the Sarlacc pit. That's really all we know. Now, again, as we go into this season and as we get the rest of these episodes, it may very well build into something. And if it does, then I'm going to be like, this show is fucking dope. But if we get a collection of stories that basically show what Boba was doing to catch us up, juxtaposed against what he's doing now, and it's basically him just trying to wrangle in like this the underworld of Star Wars and kind of like assert his place, and there's somebody, you know, that's like really trying to thwart that, and that's it. This ain't gonna be a great show. It'll be all right, but it's not gonna be anything game changing for me at all. And that's the thing that, like, again, I'm not telling anybody that's saying that the show is off the chain that they wrong. I'm just saying pump your brakes on all the excitement, because we all like love the fact that we getting all of these little Easter eggs and people are coming back and we get to see the band and Max Rebo and all of that good stuff. It's cool. Like, I love it. I'm right there with you, just like everybody else. But you got to be able to look past all that shit and be like, there ain't really no substance to this show yet.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have to agree. My rating is really not much higher than yours. I'm actually at a 3 with the show. I mean, but it's only 2 episodes, and I feel like that's fair.
Exactly.
There, two episodes, 2. And you know, I do agree with you on you know, why do I care? And on that point is the reason why I actually like the flashbacks more than I like whatever's going on in the future, in the present. Like, I'm more interested in what happened to him after the whole Sarlacc thing, and hopefully that ties into how he met up with Mando. Like, what was he doing right before he met up with him to go get his costume back, his armor back? So, like, I'm interested in for that. The future stuff for me is kind of like, I'm with you. You know, it's not really the same Boba. I can see the humble beginnings with him being with the Sand People, but at the same time, again, it's like from Mando to now, something else happened. Like, when you pop the cap and dude, were you trying to like reform the crime syndicate? Are you trying to have, you know, you're going to have people knocking door to door and be like, hey, join the crime syndicate of Boba Fett. We'll take care of our people. Like, I don't get what's going down with that, but I enjoyed like the bar fight scene from this episode. Dope. The fact that my man took charge, he actually got the trust of the Sand People and was convicted all the way through, learned how to fight and was humble about it. That was dope. You know, even down to the first episode where, you know, him coming out of the pit, getting discovered. Like, oh man, how does he get from there to where he's taking over the crime syndicate? Okay, I could try to see and make a tether on that. Yeah. But what's happening in the present isn't really matching with the past for me. So, like I said, we're gonna have to wait on that. Everything else is normal for this show, is why it's really getting the rating for me, plus that little bit of a story of what's going on how he came back out. Now, who knows what they're going to be doing with some of the things like you're going to catch more of that stuff than I will because you're such a Star Wars sweaty. So there may be some Easter eggs that I might be missing, some references that I just didn't pick up just yet. And for me to hear your synopsis of how you feel about it and not drop any like major artifacts, I might have to be inclined to agree with you for how the show is going, because to me, how I'm looking at this show is this is like an interim. This is like the show that they decided to make because we already heard all of that, all those bad rumors going around with what was going on with Mando 2 into season 3. And I feel like they was like, all right, yo, Ming Na. And the other dude, his name is weird. Was it Tamara?
Tamara Morrison.
It is Tamara. Okay, I didn't want to botch it. But yeah, he was like, Tamara, Ming Na, hold this down for a second. We're gonna give you guys like 5 or 6 something to do's while we work on this season 3 and try to get all these get these people down to come back.
Right.
And that's what I'm looking at this show. I didn't think it was going to be like bad, but I didn't really think it was going to feed too much into the lore of Star Wars.
Well, see,
and then necessary point.
See, and I completely disagree, because in my opinion, and I still feel this way, and we only 2 episodes in, but in my opinion, I think that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are trying to set up a new direction for Star Wars that will allow them to kind of skirt around the sequel trilogy, to where they can say, yeah, all of that stuff happened, but the Skywalker saga was kind of done and over with Anakin. Now we're going into the next phase. Yeah, we know this stuff happened with his grandson and all this other shit, but let us give you Star Wars is more than just the Skywalker saga. And I feel like, you know, with Ahsoka, with the Mandalorian, with Boba Fett, that they're trying to build towards that. That being said, I think there's also this thing where they are wrestling with, at least from what it feels like to me, the suits over at Disney saying, here's your sandbox, but you can only go this far. Because it really, the whole characterization of Boba and his kind of transformation personality wise, like, this is the same dude that in the original trilogy, Darth Vader had to be like, no disintegrations. He had to let him know off top, like, you just can't go in there just killing people, bro. I need you to bring him back alive. Right. You know what I'm saying? So Boba was a savage. He was that dude. When you go back and you look at, I went back and watched the young Boba arc in Clone Wars. Kid Boba was more of a G than the grown Boba was, because this dude was like, he gave zero. He was about ready to kill Mace Windu and everybody on that ship because they chopped his daddy head off. Now, yes, several years have passed through that. I get that. You are not the same person. But again, just as recently as the OG trilogy, and I'm talking about timeline-wise in Star Wars, Boba was that dude. And then he went into the Sarlacc pit. And he comes out, and now he's like, apparently he's reformed and he's trying to do things a little bit better. But why? Like, what is his motivation for that? Like, we get none of that yet. We haven't gotten any of that in the first 2 episodes. So because we've only gotten this in the first 2 episodes, my overall rating of this series is fairly low, because I'm like, as cool as this is as a Star Wars fan, I have to admit that there is no real substance yet. There is no connective tissue. There's nothing really deep in this show that makes me vested in, like, fully invested to where I'm like uber excited to see these episodes every week. Mando, there was no question. I was catching Mando every night or every week at 2 a.m. I wasn't waiting. I don't feel like that with Boba. Like, I don't feel yet like I'm like, if I don't watch this right away at 2 a.m., I'm missing out.
Right.
Because there's not, and I get it. We only 2 episodes in. So please, people, understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's trash, and it's definitely not WandaVision. And I'm not trying to go there, but I'm saying, like, because by episode 2 of WandaVision, I was like, oh, well, we speculating all over the place, but we still don't really know what's what.
Yeah.
But that's not this. It's not that, you know, we don't understand that it's building towards something. It's just, this is a very slow burn. And I really don't want it to be a thing where it stays that way, and then the last 2 episodes is when everything pops off. Now, that being said, and talking about where it goes, where I think it's going, and where I hope I truly hope it's going, is I think that they are about to really get into this crime syndicate, because with this last episode and them showing the Pikes and like that whole thing, I think what they're trying to do is establish kind of the crime syndicate in the underworld and what that hierarchy looks like, because Boba's kind of knocking off or putting everybody in check, all of these different leaders and shit in check. But what I'm hoping he runs up against is that there's one particular faction that's like, we too strong. We ain't here for that bullshit, Boba. You ain't just finna come in here and tell us we gonna do things like that. And I'm hoping it's Crimson Dawn. Because if we get Crimson Dawn, then we could potentially see Kira come back from Solo, which would tie that in together, and the whole thing about the criminal underworld would work. And then the larger piece of that could be that maybe even pulling the strings behind Crimson Dawn or another one of the syndicates is Thrawn. And that Thrawn is like pulling the strings behind all of this, and we don't know it yet. And maybe that's something that Boba ends up finding out later on in the series. If that's where this goes, and we end up where it's like Boba versus like Thrawn, whoever the Thrawn's underboss is or something like that, then that would be dope, because then it's like, okay, now we get an understanding of kind of what's going on post Empire, who's trying to really try to make moves and be a threat, just not on a like underground level, but more on a galactic, like filling the void of the Empire type thing, until we know the First Order is going to pop up at some point anyway, because we've already seen the damn sequel trilogy. But up until then, who's wrestling for power? And where does Boba fit in with that? And how is that going to tie into what Mando's got going on with Grogu and Luke and Ahsoka and all of that? Because it's all got to come full circle. And you'd be crazy to think if you don't think that Dave Filoni has all of that in mind right now. It's just, we got to see that. And I need to see that before we get to like the last episode. Otherwise, I'm going to feel like you strung me along and then just gave me that at the end, which would essentially render this series useless to me. Because I don't necessarily, unless Boba has some kind of a definite role in the future of Star Wars, I didn't need his backstory, because we got his backstory in Legends, and that's enough. Even though Legends ain't canon, hell, they ain't doing nothing but adapting certain elements from the Legends, like history of Boba, and putting it in here. Like the whole him coming out of the Sarlacc pit and all of that, that's from Legends. So they're just readapting, which is what everybody figured they were going to do when they totally wiped out Legends canon anyway, was that they were going to nitpick and take bits and pieces that they liked and retailor it the way that they wanted to. No different from what the MCU does with the comics. Nothing wrong with that. But I think it's the structure and the way that they're presenting it in these first two episodes. It's like they're more leaning towards the nostalgia over substance. And it ties into me the same problem that the Matrix fell into, was that at what point does the nostalgia just become stale? And so far in Boba, it hasn't yet. But because there's no substance, like the longevity of the nostalgia is just not going to be there, because you're only going to be able to hold my attention for maybe another episode if we just focusing on these flashbacks. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it sounds like then? It sounds like this show and the way that Star Wars might go in certain aspects, not every aspect, certain aspects, I feel, because they are they're retconning the Legends and they're using it, like you said, how they want to use it. I feel like you're going to get more of the shows for the swarmies or for normies. Like I would say, because I don't know about that types of stuff in the Legends. So kind of seeing it in this show for me is like filling in gaps and or showing me, like I said, some things that I haven't been too aware of or seen before. So like I wouldn't be surprised if like at the end of this, like your rating is probably like a 3, but I'll rate it like a 4.5 or something like that, because if for me it's kind of filling in some things and I'm getting more information on the stuff that I'm interested in from a different, but for you it's from a different perspective, it's from a different angle, and with some, like you said, nostalgic elements. So I feel like those elements are there to kind of draw the sweaties like yourself but then there's enough in there for swarmies and for people who have absolutely no idea, like how they did with Mando and Baby Yoda.
Right.
So this obviously isn't a Baby Yoda gem or nothing like that, not yet, but it is very, very well rounded in that area. Obviously not enough in the nostalgic area, it seems.
Right. And that's the thing, is because again, I'm all for give me Star Wars nostalgia all day. Like I will sit there and I was wigging out, in the first episode with all the flashbacks, when they showed Max Rebo the first time. I was like, oh snap. When you get to see that, in this episode where he drops old dude into the Rancor pit and Jabba's throne slide. I'm like, all the callbacks and all that good stuff. I'm like, ain't no Rancor in there, man. Like Luke killed that dude. Like all of that is cool. But it's empty. It's hollow, because it's like when you peel back the layers, there's really nothing else there yet. And right. and what is there is kind of this transformation of Boba's personality, which I'm just not on board with, because they haven't explained to me, and it's very simple, and they still can do it in any episode where, all he has to say outright is, I am not my father, or I'm trying to be more like my father, or something like that, because we don't know enough about Jango to know if Jango was a savage like that. Now, because Jango, from the most part, he was like, I'm just a simple man trying to make my way through the galaxy. So I'm just, I'm getting it how I live. Now, he sided with the Sith at the end, but was that, in Attack of the Clones, but was that more out of necessity, or because he was just like, nah, the dark side is where it's at? Like, we don't really know that yet. And then when you get kind of mixed signals, when you get into Clone Wars, because you get there's a scene where Hondo is like telling Boba not to do something. He's like, because your father wouldn't have done that. Like, he wouldn't have approved of that. So it's like, okay, they planted little seeds going back as far as Clone Wars that maybe that Jango had a little bit more integrity than we thought, or so, at least so Hondo says. But like, where do we actually get to see that unfold? Where do we actually get to see that to where it's spelt out for somebody who doesn't sit and watch Star Wars ad nauseum like me? You know what I'm saying? It's like you get all of this stuff at face value. And this is the problem that I have, is it's like, yeah, they're giving you nostalgia, but the nostalgia is more like for people like me. The actual flesh and the meat of it, though, there isn't any. And they're hoping nobody cares, because the nostalgia kind of like blinds you to it. But it's kind of like one of the, and I got to give credit to Felicity, because she's the one that always be on here talking that shit. So I'm with you on this one though. Like, I'm not falling for the nostalgia okie doke this time, bro. Like I'm paying attention, and I'm wanting to see what they building with this, because this was a totally, another to quote another one of our peoples, the homie Vito just stopped through here. Vito, he give Boba Fett fans grief. He like, who the hell is Boba? And it's like, when you think about it, this dude had like around 10 minutes worth of screen time in the OG trilogy. So in effect, he really wasn't that important.
Right. That's
and so now we're trying to give him some importance and significance.
Right.
But it's just happening kind of like at the same pace that Neo was fighting in the Matrix. It's slow as shit. And I need them to pick it up a little bit, because it's my interest is dwindling.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this show ends on a hollow note, because I'm not expecting anything big. There may be some, like you said, some things that happen in it that are good Easter eggs that'll come in the future, and you probably got some already. But this is a show for me, like I said, interim. Next year we're not gonna be watching Boba. We're gonna be watching Mandalorian season 3. And then seeing what's going on with that, and then possibly not even really thinking about what's going on with Boba, or he might get a new time slot for the following year, because, it's not that big of a, like you said, he's not that big of a character. So, but a lot of people, there's a demand for him. It's kind of like Venom back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of people was asking for Venom, but was he ready to be translated or actually deserve to have his own kind of intro to a movie or anything like that? Not really, not in the way that they did it. So, Boba's kind of the same thing. They threw him in there because he was a contingency plan. That's what it feels like. Right. So it makes the best sense on why you feel that way about the show, even 2 episodes in. I think the next episode, it's going to be dope in its own respect, but looking for that actual Star Wars story essence that leads you on to the next property, it may not have that.
Right. And maybe I will say this too. Maybe I got spoiled by Mando, because the thing about Mando, I said the same thing about Mando leading up to it, was like, I know nothing. We don't know anything about this character, but we know, we thought we knew everything about this time period. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this time period that they're going to, tell us that it's going to be worth us watching to actually see unfold. And the discovery of Grogu was that. Like, they knew right off the rip. They was like, oh yeah, we gonna have people hooked off this first episode. Now, you don't need Grogu in Book of Boba. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you have to have something, an event or a person or something exactly that's gonna draw you into this story and make you want to know more about what's going on outside of just how Boba got out of the pit and became the Boba that we see now.
Right.
And shout to the homie Vito coming through. Said, I'm so busy at work, so I can't watch, but I gotta show love to the Maynes with the $5 donation. Appreciate you, my dude, as always, bro.
Thank you, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. But yeah, that's it. It's so that's the thing for me, man. Is it's just like, it's cool. Again, I love the show, but if we're being honest, it's not a lot of meat on that bone, man.
Not
a lot of meat on that. It's not a lot of meat on that bone at all.
I feel like they're giving us like a wing at a time.
Yes, that it's like we are, they're slow portioning us, man. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but you better bring it. You're gonna have to bring it.
Facts.
Now I see Jedi Jen. She says maybe this is my thing, but I don't. She says I don't have expectations for this show. Just enjoying some Star Wars goodness. And to me, this feels like Star Wars, but we are waiting for the hook. You are correct. Yes. Right. Now, true, very true. That's if you are not a person that has a large expectation and you just want to see good Star Wars for a change. This show is exactly that, because they are nailing the tone, the essence of Star Wars, like the whole nine. Like I have no complaints about any of the characters, any of the way they are portrayed, with the exception of Boba, and that's just a slight little grievance. But everything else fits perfect. It's beautiful. The backdrops is amazing. That whole watching him on the train and that fight, that's some of the best Star Wars action we done had in a good long minute. It was way better. And then one of these days, maybe on one of these Star Wars Wednesdays, I want to get into why that train scene kicks the shit out of the train scene that we got in Solo, because Solo had a train robbery type situation and that was cool, but this was like next level, and it was some things specifically that they did in this one that just killed it. So that might be something to tease that for one of the Star Wars Wednesdays. But other than that, man, it's just like I haven't been hooked yet. Like, I'm gonna watch it because it's Star Wars, but it hasn't got me.
No, I totally feel you on that. So at the moment, this isn't something I would totally revisit. Not like Mandalorian.
Right.
Like, I would actually sit back and be like, you know what? Take me from season 1 to season 2. I want to see the story all over again. Right now, like I said, this is the go ahead, grab your popcorn, get your drinks, go use the bathroom real fast. We'll be back after these messages.
Right.
Right now. So
yeah.
We'll get there. I'm curious to know what the people think. And I saw what Jedi Jen thought, and I know said I didn't give him anything to look forward to for the next week, and that's really saying something, because they did set some things up. He's got to go. I forget where he said to go to, but the mayor told him to go somewhere to go check out, get some answers for the assassin, and you had the twins popping in. So
yeah. I can't remember where it was. He sent them either. Now it's drawing a blank, but yeah.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So for people to be like, I'm not really looking forward to nothing for next week, when we got a couple setups, not just any, one, that's really saying something about the show. That's totally
and that's not me. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I want to see what they're doing with it. I'm just saying, if you asking me right now as a series, which is, you can, some people might say it's not fair to judge it 2 episodes in, but that's what we do. That's what people do. As soon as it come out, we automatically we got to diagnose, we got to dissect, and we got to we got to grade it. And so right now, it's sitting at a 2 for me. Now, each individual episode, I would put those in, up in the 8-9 category. If you're talking about just standalone episode like this is just a little short on what was going on with Boba. Cool, but when this is a series, it's supposed to have like an overarching plot and supposed to tie into the Star Wars mythos at large. I got high expectations, so I need to see you. I need to see you produce. I can't come in here and talk shit about Bat Cullen and the MCU and everything else and not hold my Star Wars to the same standard, man. I got to.
Right. No, this is facts. Totally facts for you.
Yeah, man. That part.
Yeah.
But what say the people? Let's see what they talking about, man, before we get up out of here.
Yes, sir. Because I'm with Felicity. It's totally fair to judge anything that Lucasfilm puts out. Definitely.
I feel you.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what is here for us, for us to evaluate, to consume, and then talk about, evaluate, conversate, all of that, and break it down.
Matter of fact, we're gonna put this to a short poll.
Do that.
Say, I'm gonna put is what say ye people?
Yeah. Let us know.
And we will see from the votes. Just give us a yes or no. Because I got another question too. Because since the homie got something he's doing every Wednesday, I feel a little left out.
Oh shit! I was waiting on it.
So, I kind of want to watch something, and we got a few new things that are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And we got that because I was kind of interested in that new season of Jack Reacher that's coming out with my boy.
Yeah.
From Titans.
Okay.
I'm gonna check that out. But we also get Peacemaker.
Yeah.
That's also gonna be coming on the 11th.
Yes.
So I was kind of interested in checking to see how my man's John Cena's doing because he's grown on me as an actor.
A little bit. He's starting to find his lane. I give you that.
I think Peacemaker actually fits a character for John Cena very well. And the funny part about it is, watching him from wrestling to Peacemaker is night and day. You know what I'm saying? Especially the types of character he plays in wrestling. The Patriot guy, and here it is. You got a Patriot person, but it's for all the wrong kind of reasons. You know, the espionage dude. So I'm interested in that. So that's gonna be my next question on which one I should watch with you guys next. Are we going to be interested in watching Jack Reacher, which I think is already on I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to, of course, get Peacemaker on the 11th on HBO Mizax. So I'm curious on which one the people
man.
But so far we at 86% on the Boba Fett.
That's what I expect.
The one T on purpose, by the way. Boba Fett. To try to see if y'all fets up with it or not. Not yet. Not yet. 14 votes. I'll let you guys get more in there because I know it's about half the people's. You never know what the other guys might drop. We've seen that happen before.
Yes. Stranger things indeed.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this year.
Yes.
In a nutshell, we're wrapping up with Boba. That'll be over before you know it. Get 2 movies, man. Waiting for that Doctor Strange to pop up.
Man.
Waiting for the Batman. Did you see me in Doctor Strange, by the way?
I missed you.
Try to get my cornrows back.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I had to think. I was like, oh, yeah. Look, so y'all heard that, right? My man is going to be Mortal for Halloween this year.
Right.
My man is going to be Mortal for Halloween this year. Bro.
First thing I'm going to say when I get on screen, I'm going to be like, the Maynes always come through.
Yes. That part.
Because the bill don't ever come due on the main authority.
Right.
Not once.
Not ever. and you know what? While we at it, I'm going to go on and put this out there. If anybody sees a Saw Gerrera costume, holla at your boy. Because I'm trying to be Saw Gerrera for Halloween this year, man. I want the whole, I don't want to have to go the route of making the damn outfit myself. But man, I'm trying to be Saw from the red. And I want to be the like Rogue One Saw. Like I got the crusty fro and I can't hardly talk. I'm like, lies, deceptions. I want to be that. I want to be that Saw Gerrera. Like, just walk up to somebody, portcullet, like that. Just walk off. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, man, you know. But last thing before we get out of here, man, I got to touch on it because you know we like the games around here too, and I ain't got another 2K rant for y'all. Oh, another donation. Mike Porter, Sir Glass Half Full himself, Mr. Steal Your Girl and give her back because she just that nice.
Yes, he is.
How nice is he?
He said he's so nice that he's still on that no way home high.
Yeah, man.
Use them webs to fix his glass, apparently.
That part. But yeah, man. Not a 2K rant. But I do got to touch on GTA real quick.
Have it.
Because, you know.
Get him.
What is it now? 13 years ago, something like that, man. Like it feel like it. Feel like it. Like, you know, a couple decades ago, GTA 5 came out.
Right.
And one of the things they told us was, oh, we gonna have single player DLC. We gonna give you story content, single player. You know, you fast forward these 2 decades and we still ain't got a lick of it. However, they tried to satiate us a little bit by giving us this new downloadable update for GTA Online called The Contract. Now, The Contract features Franklin from the main story. He is now a big baller shot caller, working with celebrities or trying to work with celebrities, and you go into this as a business partner. And when I say business partner, I mean just that, because in true GTA Online fashion, before you can even think about playing these missions, your ass got to drop a cool $2 million in game to purchase your little agent, your little celebrity assistance agency or whatever they call that shit. Now, $2 million is the bare minimum, but you know you get in there and you be wanting to upgrade it. You want an armory in the garage. So yeah, I went on and did that and dropped about $4 million on that boy. Dropped the $4 million. Started doing the missions. Fuck you, Rockstar.
Oh, damn.
Let me tell you, bro. Damn. It's not that it's bad. It's just that unless GTA is your life, you better be on there playing with a team. Because I tried to do a couple of their missions, bro, and like I pulled up on one mission where I was supposed to steal a bike back. I couldn't even get to the damn bike. I was getting sniped by dudes I ain't even know was in the game. It's like they got SEAL Team 6 out there on my ass waiting for me.
Oh, man.
I'm like, I got to come in here with a team of dudes to make this shake. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So it's another cash grab. Definitely that.
Yes, sir.
It's cool. I will say the music updates, having West Coast classics dedicated to Dr. Dre. You get all the Dr. Dre hits, and it ain't all just gangster rap. I heard some Blackstreet up in there. They got a nice little variety of music. Some of the new, they got a couple of new stations that added some new music. So they keeping it fresh in that respect. But make no mistake, this is solely intended to make you spend some money to get you some in-game currency, because nobody's finna sit in there and grind. I did one mission and completed it, and I was just curious to see how much money I got. Like 12 grand.
Oh man.
I'm like, bro, what is that? A shirt? Like, what am I gonna do with this?
Especially for it to be 2 hours later.
You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. I'm like, by the time I finished the mission, because I died like 8 times, I'm like, this is all I get? Come on, man. Now, I will say, they've been dumping money in my account for some reason. Every time I done logged on, I done got at least 100K in money, just like, oh, you've received this gift. So I don't know if that's like some kind of promotion they got going on, or maybe they just realized that, like, man, if the Maynes is in here, maybe we need to make sure they able to play some of this.
Might be, because they only giving it to one Mayne. My black ass ain't getting
nothing. Oh, man.
You told me about it, and I was like, oh, for real? They just give it? Okay, well, let me log on.
Man,
nope.
Yeah, I got like, over the course of the last 2 weeks, I promised they done gave me about $3 million.
Oh, man.
Because I came in and one, they gave me $1.5 million, and I was like, what? I'll take it. It was the only way I was going to be able to afford that agency, bro. Because I was like, the last update, which was that little car club thing, man, I tapped out my funds doing that. And we ain't played it but like once.
Nah, see me, right, because me tapped out on that game, it still means I'm holding on to at least $1 million.
Right.
And I'm over here looking at old property because I ain't bought nothing since the mobile operations center.
Right. I'm telling you, man, like it's crazy.
And then when I bought the bunker, it wasn't even a few days after that they came out with the whatever it was, the helicopter airplane.
Oh yeah, the oppressor.
Yeah, the whole base thing that you could get.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got you.
Then they was blowing up my mobile. I was like,
man, because you get the little orbital joint where you can do the orbital strikes.
Exactly. Yeah. 6 million for that.
Yeah, bro. Look, I got all that shit and don't even play GTA like that.
No,
it's insane, man. Yeah, I done bought a couple of shark cards back in the day. Get off me, man. I did it.
I got my Batmobile and retired. And then the Batmobile was a joke.
Oh my God. Man, it was so whack. So whack.
What? That's like a Hummer truck.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm stronger than that. I can shoot that with 16 missiles before it blows up. The Batmobile, what? Half a missile? I think a missile whistled past me and blew me up. And I'm like,
facts. All facts, bro.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll still play. I'll play with a group of people.
Now that's the question though. Like, I'm gonna ask you just right now. Is GTA 6 on your radar?
What that pastor say? Hell to the no.
Exactly. Kendall, no. I hate to be the one to tell you, bro, but if your hope and your money is going into GTA 6, bro, that's exactly where your money gonna be going. In the GTA 6 for the next 30 years.
Yep.
Because they gonna stretch that shit out and they gonna have you paying for downloadable content from here till Jesus come back, bro. Like, hey, if you don't think that this GTA Online model is not going to be the model for Rockstar going forward, you crazy. That's why they ain't putting no money in the Red Dead. That's why we haven't seen a Red Dead 1 remake yet. That's why we got that bum-ass definitive edition, because they like, our bread and butter is in this online. And that's why GTA 6 ain't been announced yet, because they still trying to figure out how they want to make that. Because I guarantee you know what GTA 6 is going to be? Online only.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I think it's going to be like you said. I can see them making a Division GTA version.
That's exactly what it's going to be.
I could so it's the only thing that makes sense for as large as those maps that they're saying.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
for you to be traveling real time, an hour to get from city to city for real.
Yes,
I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for
GTA
that.
5 been out so long. I was playing that with my little cousin, man, when it first came out. He would come to the crib and play it. This man is grown and got his own kids to be playing GTA with them now. That's how long GTA 5 been out, man. Like, this don't make no damn sense.
Horrible, man. That's horrible. And I bet you didn't even have to upgrade too much from 3 to 4.
No.
And it's horrible. And it's 3 to 4 to 5 now.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, they made a big deal when it went to 4. It was like, oh, first person mode. Anybody playing GTA in first person?
Right.
Like, get out of here. What are they gonna do with this one now? Like, what's supposed to be? What you supposed to be updating in the 5?
We're gonna do VR now.
Oh my God! Now hold on, bro. Because GTA VR might hold on, wait. That might be worth something, bro. Like, you mean to tell me I can literally walk up and slap a stripper? Like, I'm talking about, like, hey.
I would totally play it. I would totally play it, especially if they gave me some kind of something to put the controllers in, like how they back in the day when they VR, they gave you the guns and stuff.
Well, let me ask you this. CES this week dropped, and they gave they announced the PSVR 2.
Okay.
And gave us a look at the graphics for that bad boy, because they've got a Horizon Zero Dawn game coming out.
Are they gonna make that VR?
And they showed a clip of it.
What?
Let me just tell you, bro. 4K VR is no joke. If you telling me that the graphics gonna be good enough to where it's literally gonna look like I'm stepping into like my favorite video game right now, like, boy, it's about that's gonna change some things, because VR is cool, but the one knock I had on it was like you don't get you would think you would be more immersed, but it takes you out of it a little bit because of the degradation in graphic quality, because it's like it's kind of pixelated. You know, with the PSVR, I mean, Resident Evil 7 was cool, but it was like,
boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Fell asleep with the whole headpiece on, dude. Like, ain't got a neck cramp because you know that shit's heavier.
Okay, and I gotta address this comment real quick. If you married, that's even more reason for you to know what a strip is, Jedi Mike. Stop playing, boy. Stop playing. Stop playing. And I'm sure Mrs. Jedi might be like, yeah, you going to that strip club, but you come right back home after you done got charged up. Don't play with me, man. I already know what's up. I be seeing them gifts you post in the Discord.
Mm-hmm. But that comment, you waiting for stripper VR to come out.
Oh, you already know. That's where he gonna live. If they put GTA in VR, he gonna live in the strip club. He ain't gonna be able to leave the house. Like, dang, what happened? I thought Jedi Mike was on the Patreon. Man, he had to get off. He was spending too much money on shark cards, bro. Tricking at the unicorn, bro.
Oh man, you can see how them argue.
Boy, that's gonna be there's gonna be a news story, right? Somebody GTA gonna be in VR. They have a news story about dudes losing their job because they spending pretend money. They buying pretend money with real money to go look at a video game stripper, bro. Like, welcome. Look, matter of fact, and Rockstar gonna double down on it because then they gonna make their strippers in GTA have OnlyFans pages and shit. You gonna actually be able to follow these chicks for real.
Oh yeah. Oh
man.
That's really gonna make it more messed up. GTA VR, where you get in the car and you pick up hookers.
Oh, bro, can you imagine? Like, am I gonna be able to see all of that? Like, hold on, like, what is the car just gonna shake? Like, am I gonna fade to black? What?
They might go cyberpunk with it. They might do it.
Oh boy, look, let me tell you, they ain't gonna be ready. They not gonna be ready.
Oh man.
Virtual reality hot coffee, bro. No,
it sounds to me like we're gonna have to have a game and stream where.
Oh, of course.
That's what we talk about.
Oh yeah, man. We're gonna have to do that.
I heard some news for that Wolverine game already.
They
got a bunch of new news coming out about the new Spider-Man game.
Oh yeah, always. I can't wait for that. Can't wait for that.
We'll have to sit down and talk about that.
Most definitely. But I think this would be a great spot for us to bring it to a close tonight.
I would have to say so.
It has been fun, but like we always say, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. For the homie Lavis B, I am your boy Freddie Roy, and we will catch you in the next episode. Hey. Got it that time.
Hell yeah. So I didn't want to work today.
The Force will be with you always.
Hey man, y'all sure y'all don't want to like burn one first, man?
Why did you say that name?
You hear about the cable?
What is thy bidding, my master?
Ask God.
Forever, forever, ever. Forever, forever, ever.
This is the way. This is the way. Why did you say that name? This is the way.
Come on, man.
I am a good
Hey man, y'all sure y'all don't want to like burn one first, man? Come on, man. On with you, man. On with you, man.
Nice guy.